Hi guys, hello, meet everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene. Today we're going to just cover a few odds and ends. And I know I could have done this as a live stream, but I didn't want to go through all that aggravation of doing a live stream because the reason is because it's very distracting for me, and certainly it's distracting for you, because then of course somebody in your comments, and then I'm not really getting a chance to talk about the things I wanted to talk about. So today we're going to try to cover a few things that we have not covered lately. First of all, an interesting part of doing live streams on YouTube is I've been doing them now since around 2010. I actually started around 2011, but I was on YouTube as a subscriber in 2010. At that time, I was more of a watcher than a doer, but I was on YouTube in 2010. Now, one of the things that I have seen in my channel since my early years is I see a lot more subscribers now. I see the minutes view kind of fluctuate a bit, but that's not uncommon. It's summer. People are probably outside enjoying their time with their friends and family, which I rarely see you outside anyway, when you can be outside. It's better for your health because according to two scientific research groups, they said that excessive cell phone and screen time is causing damage to younger people's brain development, as well as there was also some research showing that it's also increasing severe myopia or nearsightedness among teenagers and preteens with the cell phones. So that's a good reason why I think it would be best for you to be outside having times with your friends and not worrying about keeping up with Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, but it's because your eyeballs will appreciate it. They need a break too, because they really take a lot of abuse. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. My eyeballs are shut. One of the things is I've been talking to a few other people on the internet about where's my channel going? What is my channel's direction? As I said before, my channel is always in flux. It's you have to be willing to evolve, because if you don't evolve, your channel is going to stagnate. If your channel stagnates and you don't really give a damn, well, that's fine. If you are trying to really create something that's going to have people wanting to come back to see more content, you need to be willing to try some new things. I mentioned a project that I want to work on, and for my YouTube channel, which is I want to connect up a ability to keep my to be able to use European accessories and appliances at 240 volts. Now, obviously, there's a couple of things that need to be addressed to do that. And one of the most important things has to do with safety. There's some people say, "Oh, well, you got a cooker outlet, so why don't you just go ahead, go buy a stove plug, attach your European hair dryer to it, and then you'll be able to blow dry your hair with your stove or cooker outlet." Well, in the United States, that is not a safe idea, because we have what they call split phase. What that means is, I showed a diagram of this on my live stream, so I'm not going to rehash it again. is that the two main phases are actually the two hot poles of your cooker outlet, and the earth is the center tap. In that kind of application, it is required that the both poles must be switched off using a double pole switch. And that's a good point. Whereas standard European appliances are designed to either A, keep in mind that you have no idea if there's any polarity protection at all, which in that case, like when you're using certain types of European plugs, like some Shukos, or if you're using a British mains plug, you know it's polarized, and so you know which one terminal's the hot and which one's the neutral, so therefore your design can be more specific, like an American polarized outlet, so you know which way the plug is going to go in. But because of safety, you want to make sure to have a proper phasing. So I was going to build this project, and originally I was thinking about doing it, say maybe next year. Well, I still want to do it sometime. But we have another project coming up that since Beaver 10 walked away, we're not going to be able to ask him to help me on this. He originally said he had 3 iMacs available, and he was going to mail me. Well, he changed his mind, and he said basically he's not. So we still are going to have to buy an iMac for the studio, because we all know that the Intel Core 2 Duo Mac is not able to keep up streaming live video at all. It's just basically dies on the floor trying to do live streams. The reason why we've mostly been focusing on showing your comments and questions is because the frame drops really isn't quite a big of an issue. It still keeps it good enough that you can actually see what's going on. So we still want. I say me and Lomi have already discussed this, so we're going to still try to get the iMac, either a 2011 iMac with either an i5 or possibly an i7 processor, second generation. I know you can say, but that's not it's not the newest grade. It's probably but what we can afford, given the fact is that we may begin anywhere from $500 to $700 renters rebate in November, December. Now, last year we had planned to buy a lot of stuff, and the renters rebate was a major letdown. And so we cannot expect we're going to get exactly what they said that we're going to get. In fact, they even told me that when I was there at the meeting, is even though you were authorized to receive up to $700, the magic word is up to, because the state of Connecticut did not already pre-budget the money for the people in the renters rebate program, so it could really cause a lot of problems for some people. Okay, now on the other hand, I've been sleeping a lot lately, and I watched Bunny Myers. She was talking about something similar. I want to talk about my situation. I don't really know old story about Bunny Myers, better known as Grave 3 Young Girl, but in my situation, I have been feeling really, really overwhelmed with all the videos and scheduled live streams and the heat and the humidity and the bugs and everything else. I just felt a little bit overwhelmed, and so I would do sometimes is I would be up to about like 6, 7, 8, 9 in the morning, and then I would go to bed after and now sometimes I miss the soup kitchen, or like I did yesterday, I got up early like I did today. I'm going to go to the soup kitchen, and then when I come home, I'm going to go back to bed and saw some trees. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing, because the way I can avoid most of the heat of the day. Speaking of the heat of the day, let's talk about that, because it's really not that bad today. But I also want to talk about a few other things too. But let's start with the weather forecast. Right now where I am, it is 23 degrees Celsius. The expected high today will be a high of 27 degrees as a high, 21 degrees as a low. At this moment here, the relative humidity is, it's 90%. But it's 23 degrees Celsius, so it's not quite as oppressive. For tomorrow, Wednesday, which will be the live stream again, on YouTube, Twitch, and Discord, will be a high of 24 degrees with 90% chance of thunderstorms, a low of 21 degrees. So it'll be cooler in the studio. Thursday, July 26th, has thunderstorms again, 90% chance of possibility, high of 27, low of 18. Friday, July 27th, scattered thunderstorms again, 60% chance of possibility, high of 29 and low of 18. And Saturday, July 28th, it says scattered thunderstorms, a high of 27 and a low of 16 with 60% chance of probability. Now, unfortunately, the month of July is almost over, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't see any really cool days at all. I don't see any really super hot ones. At least it's going to be in the mid-20s for the remainder of the time. So, I'm glad the month is almost up. The other things that I want to cover is some of the people who have spoken up on my channel. I have developed a couple friendships with a few of you that have been very beneficial, and I'm going to thank you. For those of you who are in this special, most personal group, I thank you for your camaraderie. I really do, because, as you get bigger, your channel starts to get well known. You start to get into people who really want to just tear you down. And it's those few people who have spoken up on my behalf and have taken the time to talk to me and to get to know what I'm feeling deep down. I really appreciate that. One person's name is Ginger Marie, another one's name is Taco Man. R11H30 is another one. A few others, Mr. Laugh. Cringe Report, yeah, you too. And of course, People of Peace. That's also important. These people, or you could say, are the most closest ones I am as far as the audience goes. But they are certainly no less important at keeping things going. Speaking of keeping things going, have you ever considered the fact that maybe you might want to consider protecting yourself from the bad guys? Did you ever realize the bad guys can sniff your packets? And they can actually also learn all about you by identity tracking? Yes, they sure can. So why don't you go ahead and set up with Tunnel Bear? Tunnel Bear will protect your data by encrypting it with perfect 256-bit AES encryption. It also will mask your address so the bad guys can't spy on you. Not even your ISP can spy on you. Your data is secure with Tunnel Bear. Click on the links below to try out the 2 different offers available. And by the way, even though this may not give you much commission, but I'm going to tell you anyway, you can try Tunnel Bear for free. That's right. Just download the Tunnel Bear app for your phone, your Android, or Chrome, and you can use Tunnel Bear for free. You get 500 megabytes to start with each month, so you get to see how it works before you sign up for a monthly or yearly plan. That's a great deal, because I've been trying it out myself, and I find it's really fun because I can actually appear to be anywhere in the world. I could be anywhere. I can be in England, I can be in Japan, or I can be in Taiwan. I can be any country I want. Germany, France, Italy. It's easy. It's Tunnel Bear. and it encrypts everything so the bad guys can't spy on you. That with a proper good firewall on your inside can keep the bad guys out. It's just key to protecting yourself from identity theft, spam, crackers, and troublemakers. It's that simple. Check out the offers in the links below and find out more from Tunnel Bear. Now, that's one service I have actually been proud to actually endorse because I have been using it here. And it does work. Like I said, it doesn't work for everything. For example, if you go to Discord and you enable Tunnel Bear on the app here, unfortunately it does work with Android phones, iOS phones, but the thing is, here's the screen. Now what this is you can choose any country you want. For example, here's a quick list of them. United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, Japan, Australia, France, Italy, Netherlands, Sweden, Switzerland, Ireland, Spain, Singapore, Norway, Denmark, Hong Kong, Brazil, Mexico, India, New Zealand, and Romania. Yes, you can appear to be from any one of those places. My favorite places to go to is the United Kingdom. I love it because I can appear to be in the United Kingdom. The only thing is that the BBC iPlayer doesn't work with Tunnel Bear either, but that's okay because, like I said, you want to keep yourself safe from the crackers and the hackers, and that's what Tunnel Bear does. It used to work fine with my desktop, my Mac, because my Mac was so old. It doesn't. The version I was using expired on the 23rd, so it would have expired today, which is a shame. Because when I was using with the desktop, it was smoking awesome. And that's the reason I like it. How is my eyeballs? Well, I mentioned my eyes get kind of beat up on the camera, and they do. In fact, they are very, very tired. They've been putting a lot of eye work lately, and it's causing a lot of, pain. I mentioned about younger generation of people. Several ophthalmologists have confirmed that the amount of young people coming in needing eyeglasses for severe myopia is on the increase, at least since the last 10 years. And that makes a lot of sense because with the use of screen time, now it's very different than when I was a kid. When I was a kid, screen time meant basically watching TV and a CRT. Today, screen time is watching he's watching a phone like this one. Watching movies and TV shows on these phones, or maybe watching them on a flat panel display in the living room. But more people watching movies on this little screen than they are on the TV in the living room. But I do wonder about the safety issues with LCDs and OLED displays as well, because when I was a kid, yes, we had standard CRT TVs. They weren't super high resolution, but they were a major part of our homes and our lives. And people, used to love watching the TV. We didn't usually should say, "Your screen isn't high enough resolution for me. I want a progressive scan. I want 1920 by 1080." They never said that. Most people just didn't care. They just enjoyed being able to watch a TV show. Either you turn your rotor box and aim into the TV station you wanted to watch, and if you're lucky and the antenna's in good shape, you got a chance to watch TV shows from all over the United States, or at least all over your local area anyway. And it was free, and people didn't mind a little bit of commercials from the TV channel like ABC, NBC, CBS, or even PBS, or later on Fox and WB and UPN. And that was that was a good deal. People didn't really have a problem. But today, TV sets are just a little bit too much. And as far as we got to have 4K and possibly eventually 8K resolution. You know, like I said, when I was a kid, nobody even made a big deal about 4K and 8K resolution. Nobody even made a big deal about 1K resolution. They just wanted to be able to just watch their TV show like Merc and Mindy or Angie or Simon and Simon or even Magnum PI. They didn't care how many pixels per inch your TV had, and that's the truth. But I wonder, I haven't seen much research in this, but it seems to me that this ultra high, ultra sharp definition resolution TV sets, could they be causing your eyes more damage? Because you're asking your eyeballs to do more work. A great question. I don't know. I think we need to do some more research into that. Now, I still have a CRT-based TV, but my Kodi box kind of went on the fritz. The other question is the Kodi box really the issue here, or was it something else that went bad? Well, I'll leave that alone for now because I don't really know where to start with the answer. But I do know that I was enjoying a lot of TV shows on Kodi, and I would sit here in front of the TV and eat my ice cream or eat my pizza, and then when my Kodi box stopped working correctly, I wasn't doing any of that anymore. So I ended up basically not doing anything. I would sit outside, eat a little bit of food, and then I'd come back in, and then I'd crash right back on the bed again because I had nothing to watch. Because the only way I could watch Kodi was on my Mac, which is fine. But unfortunately, the Mac was having problems originally on its own, which we fixed. It has to set something called HT-PAR because the FireWire external drive was doing the spin down in its power saving mode. And of course, the Linux on my Mac didn't understand why the hard drive was spinning down, so it would have a kernel panic. And it turned out to be just that I needed to set the parameter to tell the hard drive, don't spin down to an inch of your life. And that worked fine. Using a capital Z function of HT-PAR. So are we going to get ourselves another Kodi box? Or are we going to fix the one that try reinstalling it on the Raspberry Pi, the software, and see if it fixes it? Because originally we were having some problem with the Ethernet port. I don't see why the Ethernet port itself would be damaged. I don't see why it would be. Well, possibly. But I'm wondering if it would be beneficial for me to go get a Raspberry Pi 3. Because with the Raspberry Pi 3, not so much because I need the speed, because the speed really wasn't the issue here. But rather what was the issue was that it has built-in Wi-Fi, which is nice, because that means that I wouldn't have to necessarily run an Ethernet cable over to the Raspberry Pi. However, there's been some people who've been talking about the dispute about the safety of Wi-Fi. If you may or may not know, the Wi-Fi signal is the same frequency as your microwave oven. Of course, the difference is that your microwave oven is at least putting about 500 watts into a small enclosed cavity, which, of course, makes your coffee hot. Whereas a Wi-Fi maybe has no more than maybe 2 watts going out, possibly for like 300, 400 square feet of a home. It's just a lot different signal. Some people say that they can tell when they go into a home with Wi-Fi because they feel kind of weird. I don't really notice that, but then again, maybe because I'm surrounded by Wi-Fi constantly broadcasting at me all day long. I got a router right over here next to my head. Well, no, not that close. Well, it's about a meter away, actually. That is the one that right now that is serving the community, because the other one that was in the other room called it quits. So, yeah. Very interesting to point out. So there's a lot of reasons that I would say is pick your poison, because you can do anything you want. The technology's out there. You know, I myself really kind of would like to get another upgraded Raspberry Pi someday. It's not that expensive. But, like I said, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get that iMac. 2011 one with a 8 gigabytes of RAM is a minimum. 500 gigabyte hard drive is a minimum. 21.5 inch display. It's about as big as I can really get right now for where I got to put it. And it's going to be an advantage because we're going to be able to do more things. So, I know that some of you might say is, well, since your computer network is mostly analog anyway, what's the reason for using digital? Since everything's analog. Your camera's analog. Your sound system is analog. It's only digital the last mile, so to speak, when it goes into the computer that renders the video. Well, I suppose you could say that it's important to be able to render the video in a realistic time. The Power Mac G5 is doing this recording of this video, does a good job. But it does not do it all have the ability to stream it in real time. And we know that the Intel Core 2 Duo Mac has been doing even worse. So, I think it's just time to just upgrade the Intel Core 2 Duo iMac. Maybe give it away to somebody who could use it. Maybe somebody who likes to play games. Like Facebook and Farmville and Flash and all that, it would work fine. It's just that when you start trying to do the stuff that I'm doing on this computer, it is a real problem for protections. So that's something I'm going to work on. And then, of course, there is also the fact that it's been very hot this parts of the summer. So I've been in and out. I've been outside on the porch. I've been in here. Part of me says, wouldn't it be nice to have a portable computer? Yeah, but if I can't see the screen, it ain't going to do anything damn good, is it? I know that some people like to talk about the MacBook Pros, and they say that they're so awesome. But honestly, I'm not sure I'd want to get a MacBook Pro, because they also are known by Apple as being atrociously poor build quality because of the fact that it's the butterfly keyboards. Even the replacements are still butterfly keyboards. They're just a little bit better than they were. So get a little dirt in them things and you're SOL. And that's an issue. Okay? Now, so because of my eyesight, and because the fact is that I do all these videos on YouTube, I need to be able to see what I'm doing. And we talked about, what about getting an MPEG encoder, and then get some like a roll and Edirol, and then just forgo the Mac. Well, that's still an idea for the future, but I still think an iMac would be a better choice for the immediate time being, because then we can still do the video editing, we can still, cut and paste the videos and put together. And maybe eventually, maybe someday, we'll go ahead and upgrade and go with 720p, maybe even 1080p. It's not impossible to do that, but that's not right now. Now, the other project I mentioned earlier is going to be advantageous too, because as I said, is once you got a good, successful, solid design for the voltage converter, is that you opens up the door to all kinds of opportunities for you, because you can use American goods, you can use European goods, you'll be able to use American appliances, of course, and European appliances. You'll be able to use American light bulbs, European light bulbs, and other accessories. So that's a great option for me, since we're talking more for electronics. A properly designed 3 kVA converter connected into my cooker outlet is going to allow us to successfully manage to enjoy some really awesome stuff. Like, for example, I might be able to plug in, say, electronics from, say, England or Europe in general. You'll be able to test things. You'll be able to see how they work, and stuff like that. And that's a great, cool thing, is that you have that option. It's just like Robert Williams said about the Arts of Humanities, something everybody loves, a choice. Yeah, a choice. A choice to run things at 120 or 220 is certainly a choice that some people may not necessarily think about, but it's still there. Of course, some would say, yeah, but Michelle, everything now is low voltage now. There's no reason to use high voltage. I mean, why don't it make sense more to buy a 3,000 watt 12 volt power supply? Well, you could do that too if you really wanted to. A 3,000 watt 12 volt power supply. Oh my God. That'd be like awesome if you really want to run some serious audio gear. But I don't really think that's a big deal. But this camera runs on 12 volts. So yeah, I can see why for this camera that would be great. If my whole studio would run on 12 volts with a photovoltaic panel outside, then we'd be able to provide power year round. Speaking of power, our sun, yes, that big fusion reactor which controls all the weather and environment on Earth, has been without sunspots for quite a few days. I don't know if that has changed any. Let me see what the latest notes is on that from Google News, because I know I don't usually get using Google News, but it just happens to be YouTube News. It happens, or not Google News. Yeah, Google News. Because I was following. No, I don't want to change my Google News. Leave my Google News alone. Weather warning: Earth approaching prolonged solar minimum, sparking fears of cold shock. And then, of course, the sun has been without sunspots now for over 20 days. And, over 20 days. So, I know I tried to explain this in simple form, explaining that the solar flares act kind of like a flare-up on the barbecue grill, and some people who were extremely persistent about being exactly precise said, that's not how a solar flare works. No, but you know what? You're talking about a lot of people may not understand about the magnetic nature of the sun, so you explain it in terms that they can understand. Okay? So, which is, sometimes when you see your barbecue grill flare up, right? It's kind of sear your hamburgers just a little more than a grill with a proper, calm set of bed of charcoal. Okay? It's the nature of the way it is. Very, very interesting to think about that the fact is that with 20 plus days with no sunspots on the sun, on the solar disk, means that there's not getting as much extra energy from the sun to Earth, and it's affecting the weather in ways that the Arctic and the Antarctic ice is growing a lot, especially in Baffin Bay, Greenland area. The ice has been thickening up to 12 feet thick in places. And this is in July now. Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Adapt 2030 have been covering this. That's pretty big. You're talking about the ice normally would melt in July. It's not melting. Not even on the edges. Okay? That means that with the ice not melting, and the fact that the oceans are getting colder because of that, after all, what happens when you have ice cubes in water, right? Water gets colder. So obviously it's causing the ocean's temperatures to drop. That's having an impact on the atmosphere, as having an impact on the weather patterns as well. I don't know the details, but just to say that's basically what it means. And of course, that's going to be affecting us this wintertime. That's what I said about cold shock. Yes, indeedly so. Definitely cold shock. We're going to definitely see much colder winters this year. I personally have mixed feelings about that. As the North American Snow Queen, part of me says, I can't wait. And part of me says, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Because I see the second one because it's already seeing a lot of crop damage. If there's a shortage of affordable food, that's the part I don't really want to see. I don't want to see people go hungry, but it's probably what's going to happen. We're seeing crop failures all over the world. We've seen crop failures in England. We've seen crop failures in Ireland, France, Europe in general, China, South America, Australia, New Zealand, all over the world. We're seeing crop failures. ICH Farmer has been covering that. That's pretty big. So that means that if there's more people to feed than there's going to be food, that means that the price of food is going to go up quite a bit. So you need to be ready for that. That the years of cheap food is kind of coming to an end because the farmers can't provide enough food. And no one expects that the United States Department of Agriculture is going to be able to particularly help the farmers too much. With crop losses caused by cold, hail, oh yes, let's not forget hail, that's going to have an impact on so many people's lives in a very negative way. That's something that we need to keep in mind, is that the crops are getting pummeled by hail. Well, let's see. It's 8:13, and I have some things I have to get ready to go to the kitchen soon. But here's the deal. I look forward to hearing from you. Please don't be afraid to comment on this video. I know that some of these videos may seem kind of uneventful, but they are important information that's being presented to you in them, and it would be beneficial for you and your family if you at least would look at the content as what it is. Somebody's presenting information to you that could very well be a very important part of your continued existence. Democrats are concerned about the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a social democrat, and the fact that she has become a new poster child for the Democratic Party. She's been touring with Bernie Sanders, a socialist, as well, to create new changes for the Democratic Party. Some of the Democratic leaders are concerned because they realize that the Republicans are going to use this as a way to point out why the Democratic Party is not going to be the best choice for America. Absolutely true. I've listened to her content. I don't agree with it at all. However, she's part of the younger generation. She's part of the millennial class. So when it comes to that area, it's really not too surprising to see also why even Maxine Waters has been basically saber rattling as well. So clearly, the Democratic Party of the past is going to go in the way of CRT televisions, because of the fact is that the people do not want to realize that the Democratic Party of the past was the party that's where Bill Clinton said, "I did not have sex with that woman," when he did have sex with Monica Lewinsky. Yeah, I know about you. And it's the traditional Democratic policies of tax and spend, and it's the creation of bigger government and social programs. I'll tell you what, I think that is an issue in its own right. That the Democrats have failed in proper management of social programs. Take a look at the city of San Francisco. First of all, San Francisco has so many problems right now that I don't even want to go through every single one of them. But one of them has to do with maintaining proper sanitation for the people that are homeless. There's not enough garbage cans. There's not enough sewage disposal sites. People are pooping and peeing on the streets. People are leaving broken, dirty needles on the street. The city's been giving out free needle exchange program, but instead of trying to encourage the development of new housing projects. And it's causing some serious issues for people in San Fran. So yeah, there's a lot of things going on about San Fran, expensive housing, unaffordable housing to anybody, not enough work to afford housing. That's just it. Chicago, Illinois is going to try a Helsinki, Finland type experiment with basic income. I don't know how well that's going to work out with basic income in the state of Chicago, or in the state of Illinois and Chicago, when the state is already bankrupt as it is. It sounds like a bad idea. I don't think basic income is going to work in Chicago, Illinois at all. No matter what you do, it's great if you are a state or a city that has a surplus and you're all doing good, but when you're actually a state or city that basically is in the red and bleeding red, this is not a good choice for you. That's why you'll never see basic income in Connecticut. Oh, wait a second, we already do. It's going to all the illegal migrants. And guess what? Well, all the illegal migrants are enjoying their nice escargot and steak, even though most of them are Muslims, so they won't eat steak. Guess what? The majority of the people on Social Security disability basically barely make it at all. That's stupid. Connecticut as well. I mean, to think that you're doing that to your own people, that you're giving out this free programs to all these people that are not even legally in this country, and you're giving them all this protection and immunity and free food and free clothing, free housing, and while your own people starve to death. It's just absolutely positively asinine. I cannot believe that. You would be so bad. Also, Angela Merkel in Germany, she's pretty much kaput. There's no way. Her party is a mess. Or is it to call themselves the Social Democrats in Germany? Her party's screwed up too. The situation with Brexit. Now, is Brexit going to occur like it's supposed to do, or is it going to be dragged out indefinitely? Well, depending on who you talk to, the answer could be is dragged out indefinitely to never will happen to We're going to get it done sooner or later. Get it done sooner, for God's sakes, Theresa May. You don't have to drag it out. Okay, people already know the people of the UK have voted to get the hell out of the EU. You need to make it happen. Period. Or your term as Prime Minister will end very, very abruptly. Because the people will realize that you didn't complete the obligations that you are given by the people of the UK. Okay? Which is, get us the hell out of the EU. Okay? 100%. That's about it for now. Anything you got, comments, concerns, gripes, kudos, whatever, please don't be afraid to speak up. I will be here every day, as I am every day. We have a YouTube, Twitch, Discord live stream tomorrow. The Sunday Twitch live stream was pretty quiet. The Monday Discord live stream was pretty quiet. Hopefully, maybe the Wednesday will be more active and there'll be more people talking, I hope. Okay? Are we going to have phone calls? I'm going to be honest when I say this. Because of all the situation with the phone calls and all the crank calls, I don't really know if we're going to be doing phone calls on a regular basis anymore. I know that some of you might say, "Oh, come on! I like to get the call. You see, you're going to pretend I'm ordering a pizza, or pretend you're going to fix my toilet, or pretend you're going to basically give a home to my kitty cat." But I don't, see? Because that's not what I do. But if you actually ask me about the stuff that I just mentioned tonight's live stream, or today's live stream, or bcast, what I just talked to you about in this bcast, that would be great. It would be wonderful. That would be dialogue we could have. But that's not the dialogue we're having. Okay? And that's the sad truth. You make me sound like an idiot. I'm not an idiot. Okay, I got blonde hair. But I'm still not stupid, despite what you might think. Because actually my natural hair color is actually is kind of red, believe it or not. Most people don't realize I actually am I am a little bit of a redhead by nature. With red highlights. In other words, I'm brown hair with red highlights. But oh wait, by the way, that's enough of that for the time being. So, talk to you soon, guys. Bye-bye.